Giving Up Tobacco, Alcohol, and Sodas. William Hovey Smith, 2025.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. Today we're going to talk about giving up stuff. And particularly things like tobacco, spirits, and beer. Every doctor that I've ever consulted with says that these things are not really good for you, that you really should not consume them, or at least as infrequently as you can get away with. Well, at one time in my life, I was drinking perhaps 3 or 4 cans of beer a day, and following that up with a shot of George Dickel or something else at night, which at the VA is considered alcoholism. Well, I can quit and did quit. But, yeah, it took some doing. Now, these various things have provocative names. Like we have here, Jim Beam's Devil Cut. Yeah. Good stuff it was too, by the way. Enjoyed it. And Wild Turkey 101. One thing I also don't have here is Hudson Bay Rum 151 proof that I used to drink in Alaska. And with a nice gator on it, Bayou Rum from Louisiana, where I have an affinity. And our friends in Europe, Tika Vodka. And if you see something like this ever offered to you, run! This is what is known as Chinese white spirits, and is the most terrible, disgusting distilled liquor known to man, and the most popular selling liquor product in the world, because it sells into the Chinese market. If you are a businessman and you go to China and you are in polite society, you'll be offered just a thimbleful of this junk. Well, if you're in northern China, in the industrial area where they build cars, guess what? They give you half a water glass full of this junk. And you're supposed to drink it. Yeah. And by the time you get through with a couple of rounds of this, you're ready to sign away anything to anybody to get away from it. It is that wretched bad. And it tastes just like you had diesel engines and you poured kerosene through it and carefully matriculated it, and you got a clear white fluid. And if someone offers you this stuff and it smells like a cat 7 weeks dead, yeah, you don't want any part of it. You say you've taken a vow, it will kill you. Well, it probably would. And it is, by the way, illegal to bring the junk into the United States. U.S. Customs think so much of it. So, yeah. Avoid this junk. And if you want to read more about it and its business applications, you can find out about it in my new book, Using AI to Make Your Own Job Anytime, Anywhere, at Any Age, which is now available at Barnes & Noble, as well as Amazon and other distributors worldwide.
Using AI to make your own job anytime, anywhere, at any age is now available in a newer version at Barnes & Noble and Amazon. Those of you who bought the previous book, which does not have the title imprinted on the spine, now are in possession of a rare book. Yes, it is significantly more valuable than this later version, which has the name on the spine. So if you bought the hardcover in particular, or even the softcover, preserve these books, because they will be worth significantly more in the future when this makes a bestsellers list than they are now. So you have bought, unknowingly perhaps, an investment. Keep it safe, don't allow it to get used, and buy another one at a cheaper price and actually use that one and give it away. But now, I still need reviews, so please post these on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble and really help me out here.
In the area of cravings and addictions, well, one thing we are certainly all addicted to is food. Yep, we all gotta eat. And this rather restrictive diet that I'm on, which is advocated by, among others, Dr. William Davis and Dr. George Grant, advocates that you eat no wheat products or anything even resembles. So that pretty well cuts out things like pastas, all breads, including rye breads, which usually have wheat flour in the mix, and anything containing preservatives or what might be considered not natural, whatever that means. Well, they advocate eating natural foods. So right now what they have me on is eating one sweet potato a day. Well, we doctor it up with butter, and we doctor it up with whole flax seeds, and we usually follow it up with a boiled egg, and perhaps even later in the day, a protein bar. Now, in my case, I am attempting to actually gain strength, gain muscle mass. And many people who are on this yogurt diet that I'm on are in it for losing weight. And if so, Malacca has a series of products for you. They say they will do almost anything, they say. Well, I was very suspicious of these products at first and have tried some, and to a degree, some work remarkably well. And for those of you who need to lose weight, access here, available from Malacca, is an exercise bar that promises to take your fat and turn it into waste products. Basically turn it into fiber so you can excrete it. Well, don't know about that, but that's what they claim. It does give you a physical boost, and I've been eating it with that regard. There's also another product here, it's also sold by Malacca, which is a protein bar with peanut butter. So that you may add protein to your diet, and along with exercise, build muscle strength and muscle mass. Well, I've been exercising. I did 30 minutes on the bicycle just today. I do that every day. That helps my arms, that helps my legs. I'm doing a fair amount of outdoor work right now, taking care of a huge fallen pecan limb in my yard, and you'll see some of that later. And so that is my exercise. That gives me plenty of lifting, throwing, pushing, tossing, stooping, picking up off the ground, and so on. Yeah, one would have to go to a gym and do an enormous amount of different instruments. You get the same sort of movement. It is also the most practical thing I can do to help improve balance. I must now work with a cane. When I cut with a chainsaw, I have to do so sitting. Really inconvenient, but okay. And I have to bring the work to me. I can't go to the work much anymore. But we get all that done. So, now to concentrate on this food and show you a little bit more about it. For our breakfast here, we will proceed. This is a baked sweet potato. I baked half a dozen at the time. So once we get that done, it's done. And you just take the skin off, of course. Sometimes they cooperate better than others. That did very nicely. Dice it up a bit. And we're going to put some butter on it. A couple of generous pads. And throw this in the microwave for a minute. And while that is microwaving, I have some steel cut oats here, which were cooked with strawberries and banana. Add a little almond milk. Now we can just swap off. On our sweet potato, we're going to add a little cinnamon, cloves, those are cloves, nutmeg, and flax seeds. Have been crushed. Now oatmeal is now also ready. So 2 components of our breakfast are ready for eating. And we're going to proceed to eat, guys. Now you can put anything in your steel cut oats. Any kind of nuts, for example, are good. I have some peanuts in here, for example. And how is this? This is good. And how is this? It is naturally sweet with the sugar and the sweet potatoes, so that's fine. Now, if you want to cut the sweetness a little bit, you can add yogurt. Now this is a yogurt homemade from the Ultimate Yogurt Maker, which many of you have seen before. And it comes up with a very nice, firm yogurt product. And complements nicely the sweet potatoes. As well as being good on its own right. This has pork chops in it, it has onions in it, it also has jalapeno peppers, and it is eaten also with yogurt on top, and this is literally a one slice meal. And the crust is made of a mixture of nut flours, in particular coconut flour and almond flour, and it's poured out, made thin, and then the filling is mixed and put on top of it. To give you an idea, this is what it looks like. And this makes a bread that you can also eat. And this particular one also contains a green banana. And it's quite tasty, actually. With all of these choices, you can certainly build yourself a nutritious breakfast with plenty of protein. And if you wish, even add an egg. And I have some pickled here, which may be thrown in for good measure. One of the first things that I gave up was my pipes. And I did that when my late wife Tressa and I married, well, now 20 years ago, and haven't regretted it since. I still have a couple, and although I'm a child of the 60s, I never did get into marijuana smoking. I was always too fond of tobacco to even risk that, even though while I was in Alaska it was freely available and you could possess it. But no, that one never tempted me. This is the last trip I'll make to the recycler with my bags of soda cans. Yeah. Once was, so these would mostly be beer cans. And then I switched off beer and went to Diet Coke. And then I switched off Diet Coke and went to caffeine-free Diet Coke. And now I no longer buy them at all. So we'll collect our few dollars for this and get them off my back porch and get them out of my house. As for our exercise today, we have our burn pile stoked, and it is getting started up this morning, and we will continue working on our treetops and adding to it. I'm using this battery-powered Hart 12-inch electric chainsaw to work up these tops. And every time I cut a cartload, I'm taking it to the burn pile, which is good. I'm about keeping it fed. This is semi-green wood, and then it's not absolutely dry, so it takes a little preheating to catch. But with the bed of coals I've got on it right now, almost the instant I put these leafy tops on it, it goes woof, and we get them burned. So they're burning up as fast as I can cut them, which is ideal.
I'm going to attempt to do two things. This limb has two branches, fork as you see right here. I have already cut it right there, but not completely through. That's about 4 or 5 feet down. And it's also embedded in the lawn. From the cut to the tip, where it is right now, is probably about 18 feet. And what I'm going to do is cut this branch here, which will cause the tree to rotate in this direction, raise that branch, break the limb off that I've cut, and then drop it so I can use a heavier chainsaw to work the rest of it more efficiently. The safest way for me to cut this is to be outside of the axis of rotation. I would expect the limb to come down about 4 inches. It will rotate in this direction as it comes down. All right, that did it. Caught the saw, but it's cut. Rather than risk any of our other vehicles, we've hooked it up to the front of the truck, and we're going to give it a pull with that, and that should drop the big saw and the limb and break the other side, so we shall see. I'll now move this other limb tomorrow in the morning, and yeah, and then we can start seriously cutting up. Yeah, that's going to take a while. We made good progress on the burn pile. We shall resume there again tomorrow. What has all this meant to me physically, psychologically, and mentally? Well, improvements on all three fronts. On the physical side, my muscles are actually getting stronger. I can tell. The pain I was having in both shoulders is now gone. I no longer have to bother with that. I still take some medications for it, but not near as much as I used to. Cut it by half, as a matter of fact. My blood sugar in recent tests are coming down. My blood sugars on recent tests are coming down. More recently, I had tests on my legs, and my circulation is improving to the point that they were very nearly normal, down to the feet and toes. This improved things like a foot fungus I had. This improved things like feeling in the skin. The skin now feels much more moist than it used to. And the joints don't ache near as much as they did. Matter of fact, almost all the joint pain is gone, even with exercise. So all these are improvements physically. Mentally, we are coming along with our new works, including Petrov's Escapes, a novel set in Siberia. I spent decades in Alaska, and I'm using AI to tell me about Russia and Siberia and the goings-on then in the past and present. And of course, we have our new book, and this is the spineless edition, by the way. So this is a valuable one. This is the one you should keep or sell. It would not be unusual for the donation price of this to range in the $500 and up range. So
So just look for prices on Amazon and donate yours and take off the appropriate deductions. Will what I'm doing work for anybody? Well, according to Doctors William Davis and George Grant, they say yes, it will work for just about everybody. I can't say anything works for everybody all the time, nor do they, I believe. But with me, yeah, it's coming along, and it's really helping. And I think it might do well for you, but one never knows until one tries. At least you can do the simple things. You can start cutting out wheat, see if that helps. Then if that helps, then go to the yogurt diet and so on. And both doctors will give you directions along the way. Now, one thing I do is limit my use of news consumption. I exercise on this bike 30 minutes in the morning at dawn. I listen to the news then. Then I don't hear all this gloom and doom all the time, all day. So get your news, limit it, and cut it off. If the newscasters bring up disasters, if they don't have any presently, and God knows we've got enough of them, they'll bring up things from years, decades, and maybe even centuries past, just so they have some new great disaster to put on their pages and broadcast on the air. And all this you don't need to hear more than once. So limit your consumption and you'll be mentally better off for it. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.